Evgeny Plushenko has put his personal stamp on the Grand Prix series. As the overall defending champion, his momentum continued this year with victories at Nations Cup, Cup of Russia, and NHK. Seemingly unstoppable, he now faces fellow Russian and former training partner, Alexei Yagudin. Theirs is a bitter anything you can do, I can do better rivalry. Last year, Yagudin reigned supreme at Worlds, only to have Plushenko recently return the favor at Europeans. Carrying America's hopes is high-flying Timothy Goebel. Will the exuberance of winning his first national title help him establish a foothold on this medal stand? 36,000 miles this series has traveled to answer just one question. Who will be the men's Grand Prix Final champion? After a season-long series held in 6 different countries on 3 continents, the top names in figure skating have made it to Tokyo, Japan, the most populous urban area on the planet, with more than 28 million people here. Today it is the site for the most important international event outside of the World Championships, as we welcome you inside Yoyogi Stadium, one of the venues for the 1964 Olympic Games, for the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final, presented by Kia Motors. And what a group of men on the ice warming up right now. It includes Evgeny Plushenko of Russia, the defending champion of this event. He hasn't lost in the Grand Prix series in 2 years, taking on his nemesis, also from Russia, Alexei Yagudin, the 3-time world champion. And from the U.S., the man with more quads than anyone else, Timothy Goebel, who recently won his first gold medal at the U.S. National Championships. So as we look at the lineup here, those 3 are joined by Ilia Klimkin of Russia, Matt Savoy, the U.S. bronze medalist, and Stanik Jeanette of France, a last-minute replacement for Todd Eldridge, who was out with an injured ankle. The top 6 from the Grand Prix series, they fought it out over 6 weeks in the fall. Now they're here in Tokyo skating for gold. The final follows a unique format. There are 3 phases of the competition: a short program worth 1/3 of the score, a free skate worth 2/3, and then that sets up the standings for the super final. Number 1 meets number 2 there to settle the gold medal. Going into the super final, you've got to be in the top 2 if you have hopes of winning the championship.
1番、マシュー・サボイさん、アメリカ。
Number 1, representing USA, Matthew Savoy.
Along with Peter Carruthers, I'm Terry Gannon. So here we go. The short programs. Matt Savoy, the U.S. bronze medalist, is up first. Savoy, the 20-year-old from Peoria and the surprise bronze medalist when everyone focused on Michael Weiss, Todd Eldridge, Timothy Goebel at the U.S. Nationals. He was able to edge out Weiss, the 2000 World Junior bronze medalist as well.
Important combination for Matt. The triple flip, triple toe loop, very nice. His shoulders right over his hips, allowing him to go straight up into the air. Change camel. You have to do 6 revolutions on each foot before you change feet. There's the change. Straight line footwork has to go from one end of the rink to the other. And this is on a diagonal. Steps right up into the triple Lutz. Nice sound landing. Well, you can call Matt Savoy Mr. Consistent. He did not do the quad in the short program. He skates within his limits, and he accomplished his goal of having no mistakes in this program.
Yeah, he might not light up the building, but he very rarely makes a huge mistake. He is so consistent.
Good job.
This is the triple flip. Gets up into the air in a very straight position, followed up with a nice triple toe loop. A good combination there. And this is the quick steps that are necessary within the footwork. Changes of direction make it difficult.
And there's a look at the judges working this men's competition. There are 7 on the panel. And by the way, there is a judge from the United States working this event, Steve Winkler. There he is. What about the deductions here in the short program, Peter?
The judges will be looking closely for mistakes. And of course, the most costly mistake you can make is falling on a jump. 4/10 right there.
Well, no major mistakes, as we said, for Matt Savoy. Won 2 bronze medals in the Grand Prix Series to get here. The first set of marks for required elements, 5.3, 5.4 range, Peter.
These marks indicate the fact that he did not do a quad. However, he skated very well without any mistakes or any problems within the program.
And there are the presentation marks for Matt Savoy. When we come back, it's the defending champion of this event. 18-year-old Evgeny Plushenko takes the ice next.
Number 3, representing Russia.
Back at the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final, presented by Kia Motors here in Tokyo. Here's the headliner, Evgeny Plushenko of Russia, the 18-year-old, 3-time Russian champion, and he won this event last season. He has been nearly unbeatable this year. Lost to Yagudin in a competition here in Japan. It was not part of the Grand Prix Series, though.
Plushenko will get right to it. The first jump, the quadruple toe loop. Perfect triple toe. He just doesn't miss.
He won the Nations Cup competition in Germany, won the Cup of Russia in St. Petersburg, his home, and he won the NHK trophy in Japan.
Strong with every movement, sharp. Steps into the triple Lutz. One of my favorite parts of the program actually is the step sequence. He actually comes out of his skates. He really goes after this. Showing the great conditioning that he has. Perfect product from Evgeny Plushenko. The required elements were there. The artistry was there. And the attack, excellent.
Well, the city doesn't matter. The venue doesn't matter. The stakes don't matter. Evgeny Plushenko has just about been perfect all season long. He has been on fire throughout the year. What a way to get the Grand Prix Final underway for the 18-year-old.
The quadruple toe loop getting plenty of air. He really collects his limbs and creates that rotation, then checks out and starts up 3 more rotations with a great hand flick showing, yes, I'm in control. And he follows through with the great height on this triple axel. Very nice. Again, arm movements that show he's in complete control. Finally, the flying camel. Notice the extension of the leg. The knee is locked. Very good line. Horizontal to the ice. Nice.
He needs to bring an assistant for all the flowers out there. Just as he got off the ice, too, another wave of flowers came out. They're still coming out here. The flower girls are going to be working all night long to clear the ice. Plushenko with Alexei Yagudin, his coach, who used to coach, of course, Alexei Yagudin. They used to be training partners, but not anymore. In fact, they don't speak to each other too often. The first set of marks now for required elements. Look at those in the 5.7, 5.8 range. In fact, almost all 5.8s. And now the second set for presentation, Peter. 5.8s, 5.9s for Evgeny Plushenko, an extremely high standard. When we come back, the U.S. champion takes the ice, Timothy Goebel. He had a gold medal and a silver in the Grand Prix Series this year. Now he skates for gold here in the final. Meanwhile, the men's short program continues here in Tokyo. Evgeny Plushenko has the lead, of course, over Matt Savoy of the U.S., but here's the U.S. champion, Timothy Goebel, the 20-year-old from Rolling Meadows, Illinois, moved from Cleveland out to L.A., of course, at the end of last season, 11th in the world last year. And here he is at the Grand Prix Final. He's had some tough practices this week. He has not skated well in practice.
Timothy Goebel is definitely known for the quads. He's expected to do the quads, and he will open with his quadruple Saukow, left 3-turn, and he was not around on that. Falling toward the back of his skate.
Even though he won the gold medal at the national championships, he did not skate up to the standard that we are used to.
But he's got to reel it in here. Triple axel. And another fall. This is really a disaster for him to have 2 huge falls. Looking at 0.8 of a point.
Even more amazing when you consider that through the Grand Prix Series, he had hit 7 of the 8 quads he had attempted.
Well, as you mentioned, his practices have been disjointed here in Tokyo. Triple flip, and when you're not skating well, it's tough to get the confidence factor up to to skate at a high level.
Remember, all you have to do is be in the top 2 going to the super finals. So that's after the free skate portion, the first 2 rounds. And the way the math works here in the short program, if you're 5th or higher and you win that free skate, you automatically go into the top 2 and you can skate for the gold medal. So even with all the problems here, he's still alive.
But believe me, Timothy Goebel falling twice in a short program is a real setback for him. That was unfortunate.
Well, the reigning U.S. champion is not happy right now. And he hasn't been all week. Things have not gone well in practice or here in the short program for Tim Goebel. Plushenko leads right now. Matt Savoy right behind. We'll see what the judges put Goebel in a moment.
Usually he has very good spring on the quadruple sow cow, but he just doesn't get around. And that is so unusual to see. He's usually complete with that rotation by the time he hits the ice. And you can see right here, watch where the body is. The left foot, you could see that it was not completed. 4 rotations were not there for him to land that. And then this triple axel, I just think that his concentration was not there, a lean, and that right foot just going out and a fall. Shocking.
And things have been quite chilly between Frank Carroll and Timothy Goebel all week. Not just the temperature here in Tokyo. They were seen a number of times during practice. Quite animated after some of the falls by Goebel, which is not unusual these days with athletes and coaches, but certainly things were not going well. Required element marks now 4.5 to 4.7. There's your first set.
Really losing out here on the required elements. It's clear that he's just so far below the standard that he is used to. And the judges are used to seeing him.
And now the presentation marks coming his way. So extremely disappointing marks for Timothy Goebel, and that puts him all the way down in 4th place now. Up next, the 20-year-old from Russia, Alexei Yagudin. All he's done is win 3 straight world championships. Now he begins his quest for gold here in Tokyo after this message and a word from our ABC stations. In Tokyo, it was Barbara Fusser-Poli, Maurizio Mogaglio of Italy taking on Ilia Klimkin and Arina Lobacheva of Russia. The one-on-one matchup with the Italians recently coming off a win at the European Championships in Bratislava. Fusser-Poli and Mogaglio cruised through the first 2 rounds, and then in the super final, they skated to the gold medal with ease. Fusser-Poli and Mogaglio taking home their first Grand Prix Final title here in Tokyo. In pairs, the one-on-one matchup, Salé and Peltier against Berezhnaya and Sikaridlidze. The 2-time Canadian champion skated awfully well in the free skate, capitalized on a few errors by the 2-time world champions, and had the lead going into the super final. Berezhnaya and Sikaridlidze back to championship form with a few minor errors. That did open the door for Salé and Peltier, who skated to their memorable love story program from last year and wrapped up the Grand Prix Final with the gold medal.
6番 Alexei Yagudin さん Russia.
Number 6, representing
Down to the
Russia,
final skater, though, here in the
Alexei
men's short
Yagudin.
program. Evgeny Plushenko in the lead over Matt Savoy. But here is Alexei Yagudin, the showdown here in Tokyo. The 20-year-old from St. Petersburg, Russia, who now lives in the U.S., of course. 3-time world champion. And he won the Grand Prix Final in 1999. Did not skate in this event last year. He was injured. Depending on who you like to watch skate. He probably had the performance of the year in the Grand Prix series. That was back at Skate Canada.
Opens up with the quadruple toe loop. Triple toe loop. How about that, Terry? You know, he's been struggling in practice. And then when he gets under pressure, he just knows exactly what it takes. Usually he gets great height on his triple axel, but not a great landing there.
And Peter, at this level, the margin for error is so small that something like that could keep him from getting ahead of Plushenko here in the short program. He opened up the year with a loss to Timothy Goebel at Skate America, but then won Skate Canada and won Trophy La Ligue in Paris.
It's a really nice step sequence because of the changes of position that take place. And Yagudin is just someone that skates from the heart, whether you're watching him in a short program, a free program, exhibition, it doesn't matter.
Awfully hard to split them. Maybe the one little bobble, the only way you can do that between Yagudin and Plushenko. And here's a guy, forget about what he does in practice, forget about his past history. When the lights go on and he takes the ice in a big competition, he's going to come through one way or another. Alexei Yagudin will have his marks when we come back to Tokyo. Which is not only a high-tech capital, but also a place of much history, too. This is the Yasukuni Shrine, honoring the veterans who served their country throughout the years. Well, beyond the Alexei Yagudin, he's still not off the ice. Got all the flowers and giving out kisses in the front row.
Yagudin started things off right with this quadruple toe loop. Great height on that. And then a nice triple toe loop after that. A little close to the boards, but very good. But here's a look at Evgeny Plushenko's quadruple toe loop, triple toe. Plushenko getting up into the air nicely on his. They both landed these jumps without any problems. Subtle differences separate them. Now, this is interesting because this is the triple axel, and watch what happens to his landing. He actually is over-rotated and bent over. However, there's really no deduction there because he didn't three-turn out of it. Just not as nice to look at.
And again, if it would come down to that, how small is the margin for error at this level? First set now for required elements. Look at those, Peter.
Well, these are very good marks for Yagudin. He has pulled in a 5.9.
Yeah, Plushenko didn't have that for required elements. Now for presentation, look at the 5.9s, and guess what? 1, 2, 3, 4 of the judges put him in first place as opposed to 3 for Plushenko. Alexei Yagudin has the lead after the short program here in Tokyo. Plushenko in second, and Matt Savoy of the U.S. is in third. So as we check the standings at this point, behind Savoy, Stanik Jeanette is in fourth, and Timothy Goebel all the way down in fifth, ahead of Ilia Klimkin. Remember, the short program worth 1/3, the free skate worth 2/3. You have to be in the top 2 heading into the super final to have a shot at the gold medal here. So it's been a battle of Russian nerves so far between Evgeny Plushenko and Alexei Yagudin, with American champion Tim Goebel looking to break up the Russian lock. Plushenko fought jet lag and set the bar awfully high with a clean short program as usual. Goebel had a tough day, spilling twice.
I'm very upset. I missed 2 of the elements. There's really nothing more to say.
Alexei Yagudin, on the other hand, aimed for perfection and stood up to the test, despite traveling halfway across the world.
My buddy was telling me, Alex, don't go there, just don't skate.
But go there again he must. Round 2, the men's free skate, starts when we come back to Tokyo. Tokyo, Japan, it isn't exactly the OK Corral, but it ain't far off. A couple of gunslingers from Russia about to face off once again as the men take the ice for round 2. The ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final, presented by Kia Motors. Hi again, everybody. Terry Gannon back with Peter Carruthers now. Advantage Yagudin in the short program. The judges gave him the nod, Peter, but they both skated very well. What can we expect to see here in the free skate?
Well, I'll tell you, Alexei Yagudin has to be smiling about his lead over Plushenko in the short program. But I think the big message here is that the judges like Yagudin's style over Plushenko's when both skate without mistakes. Yagudin won't win in a practice session, but put 7 judges out there and he just comes alive. Evgeny Plushenko, on the other hand, he has consistency. He has beaten Yagudin every time this season except once, and it was in this building. He is the only guy in the world to land a quad toe, triple toe, double loop combination. Last year he did it at the Grand Prix Final, and it earned him 4 6.0s and a win. Look for that early in the program.
Well, Peter, what about the American? Timothy Goebel, who won his first U.S. championship recently in Boston. So far here, he's really struggled.
Oh, in a big way. The new American champion, Timothy Goebel, has an uphill battle here. He struggled in the short program with 2 falls. He has 3 quads planned in his free program. If he's going to be successful, he has got to totally refocus right now.
Let's take a look now at the skate order here in the free skate. Remember, it is worth 2/3 of the score for rounds 1 and 2. Timothy Goebel up 3rd, Matt Savoy, and then you've got the last 2 skaters, Alexei Yagudin and Evgeny Plushenko.
2番イリア・クリムキンさん、ロシア。
Number 2, representing Russia, Ilia Klimkin.
The goal here in round 2, get to one of the top 2 spots and have a chance to win the gold medal in the super final round when number 1 meets number 2. On the ice first from Russia, Ilia Klimkin. Not much chance of making the top 2. Ilia is in 6th. But the 20-year-old from Moscow, an upset skater in terms of making it here to Tokyo. Not many expected him to be here, and perhaps he can move up, skate for a bronze medal.
Interpreting Afternoon of a Faun. Beautiful triple axel, triple toe loop. You could see how he went straight up into the air on both of those jumps. He started very well.
Since we first heard of Ilia Klimkin a few years ago, he's been known for his quad jumps. He was the junior world champion in '99, made the Guinness Book of World Records, landing 2 different types of quads in one program. He was the first to do that.
And right there, we did not see the quad. Fell short of the rotation, broke out with the arms, the legs coming apart. That stopped it. Interesting to see that he spins in one direction and then spins in the other. That's hard to do. That's like being a switch hitter in baseball.
Huh. And like most switch hitters in baseball, are skaters better in one direction than the other?
Absolutely.
Klimkin came in 4th. There's an odd spin.
Yes, and that innovative look that he has means that he spent a lot of time creating these different variations on the spins.
Came in 4th at the Russian National Championships. You had Plushenko, Yagudin, Alexander Apt, who is not here, and then Klimkin. So there would be an outside chance if he were to light the world on fire here that he could make the Russian world team, but that does not look probable.
Triple flip. Now, when you stand on 2 feet like that, that's considered easy. Judges would much prefer to see.
I think I could do that.
Yes, you can.
What I've noticed watching him, Peter, over the year at least, never seems to kick it into high gear.
I don't think that this program lends itself to do that. I certainly think that he has great innovation within his skating, but you have to couple that with the jumps, and at times the jumps just fall off for Klimkin.
6th place after the short program. Only way to go is up. We'll see if the judges move him up. Ilia Klimkin, 20 years old, from Moscow.
The key to a good jump is to get up into the air nice and straight, and he does that here. Beautiful triple axel, triple toe loop. He needed to carry this technique throughout the rest of his program on the various jumps that he was performing. Here's a look at the attempted quad. The left foot jabs into the ice. The arms and legs have to come in together, and the key to making this work is keeping the arms and legs in, but that doesn't happen. You can see them break out, so he only does a triple.
And there is the panel of 7 judges working here in the men's free skate. What about the requirements, Peter?
Well, there's plenty to do in the free program. We'll see jump combinations, triple combinations, quad triple combination, then moves in the field, spirals, spread eagles, all of that connected with footwork.
So some problems for Ilia Klimkin on the ice, but some good moments as well. We'll see here. The first set for technical merit, the mid-5 range. 5.4 up to 5.6.
5-4.
He's pretty psyched about that, having
Presentation.
some 5-6s in there.
And now the presentation marks. Yeah, Peter, he's pumped.
5-5.
Ilia Klimkin getting things underway here with the men's free skate, round 2.
5-6.
Up next, the U.S. champ Timothy Goebel, who had the big early win over Yagudin. That was with a different free skate, though. We see this one for the first time when we come back to Tokyo. Goebel is next. Stadium here in Tokyo. Terry Gannon, Peter Carruthers as the ISU Grand Prix Figure Skating Final presented by Kia Motors continues the men's free skate round 2. Here is the American champion, Timothy Goebel, the 20-year-old from Rolling Meadows, Illinois, lives out in California now. Did not skate very well in the short program at all. Extremely frustrated with his performance, now in 5th place.
starts here for Timothy Goebel with his quads. That's what he's known for. That's what the judges expect to see. He's had 2 falls in the competition so far. Quad sal, triple toe, right back on track. Double toe loop. But leaning on that triple axel. And having trouble centering that camel. That is staying in one spot, spinning fast.
He's had the best results in the Grand Prix series of any American in both of the past 2 seasons. The upset win in the first Grand Prix event, Skate America, over Alexei Yagudin, a huge upset, and the silver at Nations Cup in Germany for Timothy this season. But as of late, he has not skated up to his standard.
Now the quadruple toe loop, 4 revolutions, and no, he's short. He hits the back of his heel and has a hard fall.
Medal at the Grand Prix Final last season. So if he were not able to move up from 5th place where he is now, it would be a huge disappointment. Went on to finish 11th at the World Championships last season.
Obviously he's fighting through it though with a nice triple axel. Last quad in the program, the quad sal, and they're only a triple.
Strong finish, though.
Yes, I do think that he was able to make something good out of an unfortunate situation that took place when he had that hard fall on the quad.
Didn't give up and came back strong at the end, but not the time to be in a slump if you're Timothy Goebel. Not only do you have the Grand Prix Final right now, but of course the World's coming up in Vancouver. The U.S. national champion disappointed once again.
For the most part, Timothy Goebel is on top of his quads, and he started off right on top of this. This is the quadruple salchow. Great height there, followed up with the double toe loop. Unfortunately, that technique fell off in the program. And here is the quadruple toe loop. He doesn't get the height that is needed for this, and he does not make the rotation and has a very hard fall. And then another attempt at the quad, and he only does a triple sow cow, so not his best day with the jumps.
Possible Timothy Gable. Technical merit.
Now the mark
5-3.
says
5-6.
he and Frank Carroll wait.
5-6.
The first set,
5-5.
5.3
5-5.
from the Japanese judge.
5-6.
Up to 5.6,
5-4.
3 of those.
Presentation.
Well, I think that
5-3.
Timothy Gable is somewhat on damage
5-4.
control after that slow start
5-4.
in the short program. It's just been so hard for him
5-4.
to get things going again.
5-2.
Yeah, in fact, since the U.S.
5-3.
Nationals, when he really didn't skate
5-3.
that well, but he did win his first gold medal. Now the presentation marks 5.2 up to 5.4. Every one of the judges except the American judge putting Timothy Gable in second place behind Ilia Klimkin. Still to skate here in Tokyo, the significant names. Evgeny Plushenko will be last. Alexei Yagudin getting ready backstage. But up next, it's the U.S. skater who won the bronze medal in Boston, Matthew Savoy, who has been quietly on a roll, skating for the first time here in the final. He's next. Back to the ladies' championship here in Tokyo. It was a battle between the top 4 ladies in the world. American Sarah Hughes came into the final on a roll. She didn't have the perfect performance, however. Some struggles, but she was able to edge out the '99 world champ Maria Butyrskaya to capture the bronze. The super final was a super matchup. Michelle Kwan taking on Irina Slutskaya from Russia. Some uncharacteristic mistakes from the 3-time world champion opened the door for the Russian. Michelle skated first and then had to watch Slutskaya take the ice trying to win gold. Skating to last year's Carmen, Slutskaya stumbled as well, but she was able to edge out Kwan and win the title once again. She stood on the top step of the podium at the Grand Prix Final for the 2nd straight year, setting up yet another heated confrontation for the World Championships in March in Vancouver. Now it's back to the men's free skate here at the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final presented by Kia Motors. And taking the ice, an American, the U.S. bronze medalist, Matt Savoy, who has been on a roll as of late. He is in 3rd after the short program. Very quietly, very steadily, once again, Matt Savoy is in the hunt at a major championship.
Opens up with a triple axel, triple toe loop. He has his shoulders so perfectly positioned over his hips, and that really allows him to get up into the air perfectly.
That's getting to a collection of Celtic and Scandinavian folk music. All the focus on others, just like the national championship, and everyone talked about Eldridge, Goebel, and Weiss, and he slid right up to the podium, captured the bronze medal.
Beautiful triple flip, triple toe. You have to appreciate that he skates within his limits, and his jumping technique is so clean and secure, really creates a nice image on the ice.
Play in Peoria. Of course, the saying that means will it play in Middle America? That is the hometown of Matt Savoy, and it fits. He's always right there, does not make mistakes, not flashy, very consistent.
Just ticking off these triples. He just really has it in the bank. He knows what he needs to do to skate through this program without mistakes because he executes it in practice so well. Also, where other men are trying quads and some more difficulty within their program, it can cost them mistakes, where Savoy's right on. Spread eagle right up into the double axel. That was supposed to be a triple, but not a huge error. Watch him step right up into the triple Lutz at the end of the program. It takes tremendous strength to go that far down on your leg and then spring into a Lutz. Incredible. I think you got to put Matt Savoy in first place after that performance. It was a very solid program. He skated well. He completed good triples. And it was a clean performance, a well-balanced program.
Everything we've come to expect from the 20-year-old and the junior at Bradley University with a 3.7 grade point average in political science.
This is just wonderful to see him get up into the air so nice and straight. The technique is just what you want to complete two great triples back to back. And then here, the same thing, the triple flip. The reason he can do the second jump so well is because he's so square and centered on the landing to get up for the triple toe loop. This triple flip, that technique is awesome. Triple toe loop. Just what a coach wants when they teach.
Linda Brannon alongside his coach. That's the only coach he has ever had. Now the marks. You got to imagine, you said you should put him in first place. He's got to go in first place so far. Technical merit marks 5.5 to 5.7.
Presentation.
And now the second set, which sometimes he suffers on those, but here 5.4 all the way up to 5.8. And so you look at the judges' placements, 3 second place votes, but then a 4-3 split. He goes into first place over Ilia Klimkin of Russia. Well, the final skater here in the free skate, it will be Evgeny Plushenko. He's going to have to stick around and watch the performance of the 3-time world champion, Alexei Yagudin, who beat him at the '99 Grand Prix Final. They haven't met in the Grand Prix Series since.
Figure skating explains that an axle is the only jump taking off forwards. In this double axle, the skater takes off on a forward outside edge, then completes 2.5 revolutions. The hardest triple jump is the triple axle. The skater completes 3.5 revolutions in the air. Then finally, the triple axle, triple toe loop combination requires tremendous jump technique, including speed into the combination, tight rotation, and controlled landings.
Back in Tokyo, Matt Savoy is the leader here over Ilia Klimkin, then Timothy Goebel, as we are down to the final two, the two headliners here in the men's free skate of the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final, presented by Kia Motors. Alexei Yagudin steps onto the ice.
Number 5.
The 3-time world champion had the edge in the short program. by a 4-3 split. He was put into first place over Evgeny Plushenko, but here they go again. Plushenko is next, and they hope to meet in the superfinal too.
Skating 2, Lawrence of Arabia. Triple axel. He's supposed to do that in combination, but I'm sure he'll try that later on.
This Lawrence of Arabia program, the one he used at the '99 World Championships to win. You may remember him going down kissing the ice after that. It's a great performance. So good he named his dog after Lawrence.
Quadruple toe loop. Look at that. Triple toe loop. Oh, stepped out of it. He was so close to the boards, I think the board spooked him on the landing of the second jump.
He's told you before, though, he likes to jump very close to the boards.
He says that keeps him from swinging on the jumps. It keeps his arms and legs a little more collected on the takeoff. Triple axel. Let's see if he goes for the toe, and he did, but it was only a double. This is where Yagudin mounts his charge. He really gets into the character. Great footwork step.
Asked about the rivalry between he and Evgeny Plushenko, his former training partner. He said, yep, life would be much easier for both of us if one of us didn't exist. But we're both here, so let's deal with it.
Triple Lutz at the end of the program. Love the way he attacks the footwork. Last triple, the triple Salchow. Into a combination spin camel. Sit spin. Back sit. Yeah.
Well, he told us he is exhausted at this point. The time difference between here and the East Coast where he lives, you can see him gasping for air here at the end of this program. And he looked a bit tired on the ice, didn't he, Peter?
And toward the end, he did fall off a little bit, but I don't think he lost his passion or the spirit that he has within his skating that is so interesting to watch.
Always has pretty good time out on the ice, too. Alexei Yagudin.
Opened up with a huge triple axel, takes off forwards, and what he does so well here is he jumps up into the air. He goes way up high, covers the ice quite well, and then has a very strong back for a good landing. And he followed through with his quad, but the problem was I think he was a little too close to the boards. He may like that, but watch what happens on the second jump. Gets so close that he just doesn't check out, and he sees the sign and the board so close. I think that really spooked him at the end. And then this is the triple flip. Nice height there, followed up by the triple toe loop.
He says he points everything toward the end of the year. He's not ready halfway through, maybe at the Russian Nationals or the Europeans, but at the Grand Prix Final, then the World. That's what he focuses on. Matt Savoy in the lead right now. Remember that. Technical merit marks, all 5.8s.
These are really solid marks, and Yagudin wasn't even at his best.
And now presentation marks, Peter, and look at those. The 5.9s across the board except for the 5.8. Those are extremely high. And you're right, he wasn't at his best, but he takes the lead over Matt Savoy. It will not be easy to top, but it's up to Evgeny Plushenko. 5-1 on the season, the one loss here in Japan to Yagudin. He's next after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Final skater here in round 2 for the men at the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final presented by Kia Motors. Will it be Alexei Yagudin or this man, Evgeny Plushenko, who will lead going into the super final? Plushenko came in second in the short program. The 18-year-old from Volgograd, Russia, who has lived and trained in St. Petersburg now for a number of years. The defending Grand Prix champion.
Now remember, right before Plushenko skated, he had to listen to all the high scores from Alexei Yagudin. Let's see if he can hold up to this pressure, because he knows Yagudin is in a very strong lead at this point. Here's the quad. Beautiful. Quad toe, triple toe, double loop combination. It's just routine, Terry.
The oohs and ahs in this arena. Thought there were fireworks going off. That's something to watch.
Triple axel, triple toe. He's not affected at all by what Yagudin has done. He's into his own game here. Triple Lutz. Oh, he's just barreling through these jumps, getting good height. And look at the way he explodes out of the jumps. Good speed. Right into the next move.
This fall, Evgeny began studying at the Academy of Physical Culture in St. Petersburg. He beat Yagudin at the Russian Nationals, beat him at the European Championships, lost to him at the Japan Open right here.
Triple flip. Oh, flipped out on the landing there. Didn't see the continuous edge that we expect from him. Little mistake. Right back on that triple loop. Flexibility he has right here in this spin. Back sit. Last item in his program. Well, Plushenko certainly met the challenge that was put down by Alexei Yagudin. A very strong performance by him. 7 triples, 1 quad.
But what do you think? Has the pendulum swung back Plushenko's way now after Yagudin had the edge in the short program?
Well, personally, I like the style and artistry of Yagudin better than I do Plushenko, but I think we're going to see scores that are really close, and it's going to be a close one between these two. But as far as the skating went, Plushenko probably edged out Yagudin. This was absolutely incredible. He does it every time, the quadruple toe loop. 4 rotations right there. And what makes this so good is the fact that he's able to really keep his timing, and he doesn't rush, so the jump works 3 times. Quad, triple, double. Amazing to see. And this is a very nice triple axel, triple toe combination. Huge. And then at the end of the program on this triple Salchow, a little bit of a problem here. Watch what happens with the left foot. It doesn't go out and back. He has to put it down. So that was a mistake for him right there. Not a huge error.
Alongside Alexei Mishin, his coach, remember Yagudin had 5/8 across the board for technical merit. Let's look at these. Technical merit, well, consistency. 5 9s all the way across, Peter.
Yeah, well, you can't deny what he did out there. He had very strong jumps, and he was really fast all the way through the program.
Crowd just saw the presentation marks, too. The 5/8, the rest 5 9s, and 1 perfect 6.0 from the Bulgarian judge. So 5 of the 7 judges put Evgeny Plushenko into first place ahead of Alexei Yagudin. Yagudin had the edge in the short program. Plushenko the edge here in the free skate. How do you split them in the super final? They'll be going head-to-head in just a moment. Matt Savoy, how about his performance so far? He is in 3rd place ahead of Ilia Klimkin. But coming up, the 2 best skaters in the world, they're going to face off once again here in Tokyo. Plushenko, Yagudin, the gold medal on the line at the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final next. In Russia, they were once training partners.
Did you learn anything from Alexei Yagudin when you were training together?
Nothing.
Three-time world champion Alexei Yagudin and three-time Russian champion Evgeny Plushenko on and off the ice. Their relationship is chilly.
Nobody cares who is Russian national champion. I was never Russian national champion, but I still won like 2-time European title and 3 times world.
The World Championship is a title his rival has never won. But so far in the Grand Prix, it's been advantage Plushenko. 3 events, 3 victories. Another jab just weeks ago. He stood atop the medal stand at Europeans. So now in this rivalry that has never been hotter, there's a score to be settled.
I think like Russian, my enemy is my enemy.
Dig in. A Russian standoff is next. There's not a better one-on-one matchup in figure skating today than the one we're about to watch here at the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating Final, presented by Kia Motors. Terry Gannon, Peter Carruthers back with you here in Tokyo, set for the Super Final. The men's championship on the line between the 2 Russians. Evgeny Plushenko, of course, won the free skate. He took the lead. Yagudin won the short program. None of that matters now, though. The slate is wiped clean. They go head-to-head for the championship here, Peter.
Well, Evgeny Plushenko has set himself up perfectly for the finals. He's undefeated. He's trained. If anything, it's going to be a case of not giving too much power to his jumps with all of the extra adrenaline that he has. This is going to be a big showdown. For Alexei Yagudin, he is the type of an athlete that just wipes the slate clean before the most important performances. He can get into the zone and concentrate on what he needs to do. Most important will be to land his 2 quads, then let the music carry him through, and he skates last, so that's a perfect draw.
Just the 2 men out there warming up. You never see that because, of course, you're always part of a warm-up group, at least 5 or 6 skaters out there, but just Yagudin and Plushenko on the ice warming up before they settle this championship. Former training partners, this is what they have done over the past 2 seasons in the major competitions, the Europeans, the Russian Nationals, and the World Championships. Plushenko is 4-1 against Alexei Yagudin, but that one was at the World Championships in Nice last year.
Representing Russia, Evgeny Plushenko.
No words were spoken, no good luck handshake before this one. Evgeny Plushenko on the ice first by way of draw. Peter, before they get underway, who do you like here?
I'm going to pick Yagudin, believe it or not, because I think he has everything that it takes in his program with that great number to Gladiator.
Here we go. Plushenko up first.
He will open up with the very difficult quadruple toe, triple toe loop, double loop combination. He had to take the double loop out because he was moving too slow for the 3rd jump.
So a bit of a concession early on from Plushenko.
The 2 quads in his program are at the beginning, and here is the 2nd one. Quad toe. And he put in the triple toe loop, double loop. What a gamer to strategize like that. That takes guts.
Couldn't do it a moment ago. He threw it in right away. Outside of the major competitions, the Nationals, the Europeans, the Worlds, Plushenko did lose to Yagudin in another event this season. That was right here in Japan. But for the most part, he has dominated Alexei over the last 2 seasons.
foot will pick in for this triple Lutz. He has a great ability to spin fast in the air.
So many times skaters will say, I don't think about the other competitors in an event, but these two, it's gotten to the point where if either one wins a competition and the other one is not there, it's a shallow victory in many ways. And they will tell you that. They always refer to one another down the line at the World Championships, Europeans, the Nationals, having to meet each other.
But Terry, look at the energy he's got in his skating. He is in such great shape. His stamina could not be better. Triple flip. He's home.
There you go.
He came into this finals in such terrific shape, so trained, and what he can do is really call in all of those hours of practice because he is so perfect in practice, and he can rely on that. He doesn't have to worry when the pressure's on.
And Peter, this is a reserved crowd here in Japan, but for the first time we see them out of their seats. Evgeny Plushenko, the 6.0s from the crowd, a standing ovation here in Tokyo. And Alexei Yagudin already out there warming up. He had to listen to those cheers just a moment ago. We don't know whether he watched the program or not, but he knows that it was awfully good.
Evgeny Plushenko really was on top of his quads. This is the opening quadruple toe loop. He was supposed to do a triple toe loop, double loop, but he was only able to do the triple toe loop. But how about this a little bit later? The quad toe loop, the triple toe loop. And he said, I didn't do the double loop last time, so I'll do it right here. What an amazing statement. Bringing those feet in to create the rotation. He's so fast, and that allows him excellent rotation throughout. And a very solid landing. Perfection. Makes great use of this right foot jabbing in. That vaults him up into the air. Very strong with the upper body and a very smooth landing. Couldn't be better.
So Plushenko alongside his coach, Alexei Mishin, of course, the former coach of Alexei Yagudin. Here we go. Technical merit marks extremely high. 5.8s, 5.9s.
Well, they really have left very little room for Yagudin at this point. They can't deny Plushenko because he was so excellent in the jumps.
Look at the shake of the head by Alexei Mishin. He expected better, perhaps. The presentation marks, a couple of 5.8s, and the rest 5.9s. He wanted a 6.0. He got it from the crowd, but not the judges. So now it is up to the three-time world champion from Russia who lives and trains in the U.S., plans to make the United States his home and bring his mother over from Russia to live here as well. Gladiator is up for an Academy Award. What about a Grand Prix championship? That's the program straight ahead for 20-year-old Alexei Yagudin. His chance now to win gold here in Tokyo.
He has no room for error. open up with the quadruple toe loop. The first, I don't believe it, he almost hit the boards. But that's how focused he is. Beautiful. But remember, Plushenko did 2 quads, and now he's got to stay focused and do the second quad. Here it is. No.
Is the margin for error so small that that's it?
I don't want to say yes. He has got to skate and really bring the character in here. Triple axel, triple toe, very solid. Just depends on how much momentum he can bring into the rest of this program.
Two men that have owned this title the past 2 seasons. Yagudin in '99, last year the injury, wasn't able to compete. Plushenko won the Grand Prix championship in 2000.
Tough combination coming up here. First, the triple flip, followed. Now, supposed to do a triple loop after that. Look at the height on that triple axel. Just huge. Triple Lutz right there. Character really coming out this program, building toward the end.
What a matchup. He had the mistake, Peter, but that's a program that we have seen in the past. At Europeans, for example, he had mistakes in the program because it's such a powerful ending, though, and it builds momentum. He made it close against Plushenko, who was nearly perfect.
Plushenko was very good, as was Yagudin, but I think that in this case, Plushenko did outskate Yagudin. However, those marks that we're going to see for presentation are really going to tell the story, and we have to wait to see what happens there.
And we must say that reaction of the audience certainly stronger for Plushenko's program than it was at the end of this one from Alexei Yagudin.
This is absolutely remarkable that he was able to stay so focused with this quadruple toe, triple toe. Look how high he gets in the air, but watch what happens here. His foot almost hits the boards, but he just went right through that. Amazing. Here is the second quad that he had. Unfortunately, at the end, he leans forward and just has a sloppy landing. He had a great first quad, but it didn't work on the second one. And this is the triple Lutz that was at the end of the program, throwing that in, trying to rack up the credit on the first mark.
Hanging his head right now, but now he's going to take a look at the marks, the technical merit marks. You know he'll suffer a little bit on these because of the mistakes. 5.8, 5.9 from the French judge.
Considering the mistakes, really pretty solid marks.
And now the second set for presentation, and those are not enough. 5 of the 7 judges, as the two men shake hands, 5 of the 7 putting Evgeny Plushenko ahead of Alexei Yagudin. It's Plushenko, the 18-year-old who wins the gold medal, the championship, here at the Grand Prix Final. And Yagudin is exhausted.
Both of these men have really put forth great programs, and they really advanced men's figure skating. That was an amazing competition.
It was extremely close. Both skaters receiving marks in the 5.8, 5.9 range, but Plushenko had the edge. He is the gold medalist. Yagudin settles for the silver, and Matt Savoy of the U.S. able to capture the bronze medal here in Tokyo. Well, our MCI WorldCom winning moment, it comes from the champion's effort in the super final here, Peter.
The only man to do this, a quad toe, triple toe, double loop combination, 9 rotations. Amazing.
And now Plushenko, he is 5-1 against Yagudin in the last 6 matchups in major competitions between the two. And they will do it all over again at the upcoming World Championships. What a great finish to the men's competition here in Tokyo at the Grand Prix Final. We'll see you again next Saturday with our coverage of the European Championships from Bratislava, Slovakia. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Keyword ABC Sports. This has been a presentation of ABC Sports, continuing the tradition of excellence.